In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with all notices being supplied to all the borough's two official newspapers and also on the borough's website. Ms. Antonides, would you call the roll, please?
Sure. Councilman Benjavanga?
Here.
Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Here.
And Councilman Desch is a little under the weather today, so he won't be with us. Councilman Bullock?
Here.
Council President White?
Here. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this point, I would just ask you to remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by Taylor Curley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Taylor. Before I invite Pastor Edmund up for the invocation, I'd just like to also request a brief moment of silence for the passing of former Governor Byrne. Also, in addition, I was notified early this morning of the passing of South Plainfield resident, former councilman and former county clerk, and a mentor to many current and former council members, Dennis Little. Our thoughts and prayers do remain with the families today.
Pastor.
Happy New Year, everyone. Mr. Mayor, council members, department heads, borough employees, dignitaries, and citizens of the borough of South Plainfield. I thank you for the opportunity to offer an invocation at this year's annual reorganization meeting. One of the definitions in Webster's dictionary for invocation is the calling upon God for his presence at a public meeting. As those of you present at this meeting in the past know, I like to share a little history before calling upon God. Last year I spoke of Samuel Adams' motion the night of September 6th, 1774, the night before the first meeting of the Continental Congress. His motion, which was approved, was for prayer to be offered the following day to open the meetings. It began the practice of praying that continues today in our U.S. Congress and in our local governments. Time moved forward from that day. Independence was declared on July 4th, 1776. Our nation moved to establish itself as what would become the best nation in the world, but not without further battles over what form of government our nation should have. The date was June 28, 1887, a Thursday. The Continental Convention was meeting. It was a time of bitter debate over how each state would be represented in the new government. Bitter, hostile feelings erupted between the big states and the small states. Some of the delegates had actually left because of the hostility, but they had gotten away from the practice of prayer. Benjamin Franklin, as the president or governor of Pennsylvania, hosted the assembly. His words to the Continental Congress at the moment of crisis are as follows, and I quote, "Mr. President, the small progress we have made after 4 or 5 weeks' close attendance and continual reasoning with one another, our different sentiments on almost every question, several of the last producing as many noes as ayes, is methinks a melancholy proof of the imperfection of human understanding. We indeed seem to feel our own want of political wisdom, since we have been running about in search of it. We have gone back to ancient history for models of government and examined the different forms of those republics which have been formed with the seeds of their own dissolution now no longer exist. And we viewed modern states all around Europe, but find none of their constitutions suitable to our circumstances. In this situation of this assembly, groping as it were in the dark to find political truth, and scarce able to distinguish it when to us, how has it happened, sir, that we have not hereto once thought of humbly applying to the Father of lights to illuminate our understandings? In the beginning of our contest with Great Britain, when we were sensible of danger, we had daily prayer in this room for the divine protection. Our prayers, sir, were heard, and they were graciously answered. All of us who were engaged in this struggle must have observed frequent instances of a superintending providence in our favor. To that kind of providence we owe this happy opportunity of consulting in peace on the means of establishing our national felicity. And have we now forgotten that powerful friend? Or do we imagine that we no longer need his assistance? I have lived, sir, a long time, and the longer I live, the more convincing proofs I see of this truth, that God governs in the affairs of men. And if a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without his notice, it is probable that an empire can rise without his aid. We have been assured, sir, in the sacred writings that except the Lord build, they labor in vain that build it. I firmly believe this. And I also believe that without his concurring aid, we shall succeed in the political building no better than in the builders of Babel. We shall be divided by our little partial local interest. Our projects will be confounded, and we ourselves shall be a reproach and a byword down to future ages. And what is worse, mankind may hereafter this unfortunate instance despair of establishing governments by human wisdom and leave it to chance, war, and conquest. I therefore beg leave to move that henceforth prayers imploring the assistance of heaven and its blessings on our deliberations be held in this assembly every morning before we proceed to business, and that one or more of the clergy of this city be requested to officiate in this service." Unquote. Eventually our government with the upper and lower houses was formed as we know it today, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Prayer remained an important foundation of our nation. This coming Monday, there will be a memorial service for our late governor, Brendan Byrne, as the mayor mentioned. I understand one of his daughters is from our borough. The following is a quote from NJ.com about former governors Byrne and Tom Kean. Quote, "As one half of the Kean-Byrne dialogue, a bi-weekly column in the Star Ledger launched in 1995, he continued to make his opinions known. Byrne and his sparring partner Thomas Kean, the Republican who succeeded him as governor, disagreed on many issues, but always nicely. The two who were friends were a model for civilized bipartisan discussion." Unquote. In a world where we see too often the inability to disagree in a civilized manner, what an incredible example Governors Byrne and Kean have set. To all of you in elected positions and appointed positions, I want to exhort you to follow their model of civilized bipartisan discussion for the good of all the residents of this great borough. The scriptures say to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things will be added to us. So I encourage you to be men and women of prayer, especially for our nation and this borough. My invocation today is again a modification taken from the prayer of the Reverend Duque at the first meeting of the Continental Congress on September 7, 1774. Let us pray. Be present, O God of wisdom, and direct the efforts of this honorable assembly and those serving on committees, boards, councils, and as employees. Enable them to settle all things on the best and surest foundations, that order, harmony, and peace may be ever present, and may truth and justice and virtue and civility prevail and flourish among the leaders and all the people. God, I ask you to preserve the health of their bodies and the vigor of their minds, to shower down on them and the thousands they here represent such temporal blessings as you see expedient for them, and crown them with everlasting glory in the time to come. All this we ask in the name and through the merits of Jesus Christ, your Son and our Savior. Amen. Amen. Thank you very much.
At this time, I think it's just a brief moment to recognize all of the, most importantly, the residents that came out here, but also our business owners, our school board members, former council members, borough officials, borough employees, department heads, our professionals, and every other resident imaginable. Thank you for coming out in what probably will be one of the coldest days of the year, hopefully. Hopefully we get past this. But it's truly remarkable to see such a crowd here today. At this point, we'll move to the oath of office administered to elected councilwoman Christine Faustini by the Honorable Assemblyman John Entron. The Faustini family can join councilwoman up front there. And if there's any folks that are still out there in the hallway, feel free, if you guys can just move up even along the hallway here just to make additional room.
Do you have any other family members? Okay, good. Where's your brother? You want your brother to come up?
My sister.
Yes. Your sister.
And my mom.
And mom?
I mean, I could really have.
This is great.
How about, I mean, there's only 3 more who are in right now.
All right, let's not get carried away.
Thank you.
If you would place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Christine Faustini,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Council.
Thank you. At this point, we'll move to the oath of office administered to the newly re-elected council member, Derek White, also by the Honorable John M. Brumnick. At this point, I'd like to ask his son Noah to join him up front.
That's great. So you stand. Councilman, if you raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Derek White,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Council.
Okay, at this point, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the 2017 council.
So moved.
Okay. Start a little housekeeping. Okay, at this moment, I once again call to order the 2018 council. This is in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, also NJSA 10:4-6. Adequate notice of this meeting has also been provided to the borough's two official newspapers and also published on the borough's website. Ms. Antonides, will you call the roll for the 2018 governing body?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Councilman Benjamini?
Here.
Councilman Dean?
Here.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Here.
Councilman White?
Here.
And Councilman Bullock?
Here.
Thank you. At this point, can I get a motion for Resolution 18-01, authorizing the appointment of the Borough Attorney for 2018, D. Francisco, Bateman, Huntsman, Davis, etc.?
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Faustini, seconded by Council President White. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjamini?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. At this point, I'll ask for a motion to, or a nomination authorizing the appointment of the 2018 Council President.
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to nominate Councilman Benjamini.
Second?
We have a motion for Councilman Benjamini by Council President White, seconded by Councilwoman Faustini. Amy, can you call the roll, please?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President Benjamini?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Congratulations, Council President. At this point, I'll once again ask Assembly Minority Leader Bromnick to administer the oath of office to Council President Benjamini and ask that his wife Priscilla join him up front.
Both? Okay. Council President, would you raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert A. Benjamini Jr.,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of people,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
See, former Governor DeFrancisco snuck it, so congratulations. Thank you for attending, Governor. At this point, I'll turn the meeting over to Council President Ben Javenga for the 2018 Council Committee assignments.
Thank you, Mayor. The 2018 Council Standing Committee appointed by the Council President will be as follows. Recreation Chairperson, Councilman Christine Faustini. Subcommittee, Councilman Besh, Councilman Wallach. Public Safety Chairperson, Councilman Wallach, myself, and Councilman White. Health, Welfare, and Environment Chairperson, Councilman Dean. Subcommittee, Councilwoman Christine Faustini, Councilman Gary Besh. Economic Development Chairperson, Councilman White. Subcommittee, Councilwoman Christine Faustini, and Councilman John Dean. Public Works Chairman, Councilman Gary Besh, myself, and Councilman John Dean. Administration, Finance, and Public Information. I'll chair that committee along with Councilman Joseph Wallach and Councilman Jericho.
Council President. Good afternoon, everyone. Is this thing on? It is on. Looks very good. All right. The standing theory here is that if they have me come up here and do the borough annual address, that'll be shorter than the year before. I said that is the standing theory, however flawed that it may be. All right, thank you once again to all the residents who have braved the cold to come here for today's reorganization meeting. And while I do not have the official tallies, I would venture to guess that it is probably the coldest reorganization in the borough's history. And although today may be cold in temperature, South Plainfield is always warm to my heart and to the hearts to all that call South Plainfield home. Today we reflect on what we have accomplished, but more importantly, it is a day that we look forward to the future and lay the foundation for 2018 and the years to come. The reorganization on this day today was fairly simple. South Plainfield residents overwhelmingly placed their faith in Councilman Derek White and Councilwoman Christine Faustini, and re-elected them to new 3-year terms. Congratulations, Councilman White and Councilwoman Faustini. I look forward to working with you and the entire council in 2018. Before discussing 2018, however, I would like to reflect on this past year. 2017 was a year of tremendous achievement and success. That success is a byproduct of proper planning, dedication, and hard work. The borough in 2017 adopted a municipal budget that called for a slight reduction in municipal tax levy versus 2016. The municipal tax rate, which is a portion of your property taxes that is controlled by this governing body, remained below 2009 levels. Thank you to Council President Ben Javenga, Chairman of the Finance Committee, and to the borough's Chief Financial Officer Glenn Cullen for once again putting taxpayers first and keeping the hometown affordable. South Plainfield remains one of the most affordable and desirable places to live and raise a family in New Jersey. In fact, NJ.com in 2017 listed our town as one of the most affordable towns in the state. The South Plainfield Recreation Department experienced its finest year since I have been mayor. Under the leadership of the Recreation Commission, led by Chairman William Cochran, Director Kevin Hughes, Councilwoman Faustini, the Recreation Commission experienced the highest membership ever recorded for junior field hockey, soccer, and summer parks. A new facelift and shade structures help to rejuvenate the community pool, continuing our multi-year investment in this important facility. And with the assistance of an open space and recreation grant, lights were installed at Memorial Field that will allow for the additional hours of recreational games from soccer through t-ball. New wrestling and cheer mats were installed for the wrestling room, and new equipment was installed in the weight room. Willow Park was expanded through the collaborative effort with the library. And thank you to the South Plainfield Elks for your donation of accessible swings that have been installed in various parks throughout the town. The year ended with the opening of the Southside Dog Park, which is the first new park to open in decades. It has been an enormous hit for dogs and their owners. It's true. The park is so popular that Santa and his elves even stopped by for a photo op just before the holidays. Also true. Like recreation, our senior center continued their record growth. In 2017, membership was up for the 4th consecutive year. Meals on Wheels increased, and there was a 30-foot addition to the senior center garden. This year, the seniors grew the sweetest corn that you could imagine. And I hear that next year they are planning on adding pumpkins to their burgeoning garden. Thank you to Trio Anno for all of your hard work. Programs for the youth and the aged are how you rate the values of a community, and I feel nobody does it better than South Plainfield. These accomplishments, however, could not have been possible without the Department of Public Works. The borough engineer, Len Miller, designed the dog park, and much of the work at that park, Willow Park, and the community pool was done by the Department of Public Works. Important renovations, such as new bathrooms at the library and the senior center, were all done at the hands of our Public Works employees. The department oversaw the paving of nearly 20 roadways and the resolution of draining issues along Belmont Avenue and Pierce Street. Our Cultural Arts Commission continued to provide residents with a suite of annual programs designed to educate and provide entertainment to all. Popular programs include the annual talent show, which I was not a part of, art and photography exhibits, Shakespeare, and line dancing. And thank you to the entire commission for your tireless efforts. Our clerk's office also remained a vital contact point for our residents, ensuring the smooth delivery of borough services. And Ann Daly, my assistant, continued to assist residents with their vital needs and ensure the efficient operation of the mayor's office and lead important initiatives such as our annual Toys for Tots Drive. On the economic development front, we welcome new businesses, including Raymore Flanagan's, Pino's Palais, Southside Clam Bar, Kenny's Empanadas, Little Nicky's, and Metropolitan Dermatology, just to name a few. In addition to many new businesses, we witnessed continued investment in existing businesses such as GeneWiz, rated one of New Jersey's fastest 25 growing companies. Our goal is to remain customer and business focused while soliciting new retailers, corporations, and industries to South Plainfield. And I extend a special thanks to Councilman White and the Business and Economic Development Committee for their continued efforts. Our EMS department recorded over 16,000 volunteer hours and responded to over 800 resident calls while expanding training for all riding members. Our fire department responded to nearly 1,000 calls and continued to maintain a focus on training and firefighter readiness with various training sessions throughout the year. After nearly 25 years, our fire department said goodbye to the current ladder truck and put into service a new ladder truck 7. This state-of-the-art vehicle was christened by our beloved former chaplain, the late Reverend Mingle. And I know that he will continue to look over our emergency services from the skies above forever. Our police department welcomed 3 new officers, implemented a special problems unit, and through collective effort between the borough and the Board of Education, created a needed school resources officer. In December, the department began a special needs registry for South Plainfield residents. And there is an old saying that quiet is a good thing. And it was relatively quiet in the borough in 2017. And there is no doubt that that is due to the incredibly hard work of our police department and Chief Parker. Thank you, Chief, for a job well done. In 2017, the borough may have been booming economically, but we continue to be eco-friendly. The last tonnage grant report filed documented 51,465 tons of solid waste diverted from landfills to recycling. Residential use of the My Waste app increased significantly. In fact, in the period of mid-November through mid-December, there were over 2,000 users and over 9,000 interactions with the site for information about schedules and how to dispose of solid waste items. Our green team successfully documented borough sustainability activities to achieve bronze level reclassification in the Sustainable Jersey program. This included resolutions restricting smoking at borough facilities and parks. The Island Woods Nature Reserve continues to provide residents with numerous outdoor and indoor learning opportunities. And if you haven't visited there yet, you don't know what you're missing. The library had its first full year in the new building, and what a year it was. There were 156,032 items circulating, 994 new patrons, 840 programs, and 16,630 individuals attended those programs. The new library has far exceeded everyone's expectations, and all of these things would not have been possible without our library staff and board of trustees and the many volunteers who saw the oversight of that building. Now, I would just like to take a moment to recognize those individuals here, and if there are any of those former and current library board of trustees members, please stand up and be acknowledged. Thank you very much. Hard work is the recipe for simple solutions, and that is what is in store for 2018. I am requesting Council President Benjavanga and our CFO to once again find innovative ways to fund our borough operations in the most cost-effective manner possible. The key to keeping South Plainfield affordable, that is the key to keeping South Plainfield affordable, and it needs to remain affordable to our young, our seniors, and our families. The 2017 municipal tax rate was less than it was 8 years ago, and I am requesting that the Administration and Finance Committee do the same in 2018. This goal will complete nearly a decade of keeping municipal taxes in check, and I know it's a goal that we are capable of achieving. In the first quarter of 2018, the borough will be unveiling the estate card program. This program will enable residents to earn credits against their property taxes as they purchase items and spend their hard-earned dollars in the borough and elsewhere. This innovative program will reward residents for shopping local while providing them and our merchants with a user-friendly program for all. By early March, the Motor Vehicle Agency will be back in operation in town. Hear, hear. New investments in our building department will include new software and online forms designed to make the permit process more efficient. To the residents that have endured what seemed to be the never-ending utility work on our streets, relief is on the way. Middlesex Water Company's Renew project is virtually complete. And I have directed our borough engineer to go over the affected roadways and ensure that they are repaved in 2018. Additionally, the borough has received a grant for Hadley Road. This, as well as a number of additional roadways, will be repaved in 2018. The borough engineer will continue an evaluation of our municipal roads to identify underlying conditions that have caused roadways to deteriorate. This has led to additional storm work on Belmont Avenue and Pierce Streets. And in 2018, sewer work will be done on Orchard Drive, Leaden Terrace, Ranger Street, and Lonsdale Drive. The borough is also looking into similar issues on Rizzoli Terrace and a number of other roadways. These issues have persisted for decades, and it is our goal to address them head-on. In 2018, the police department is joining forces with our senior center to establish a senior registry. The response has been overwhelming with the special needs registry, and we believe that the expanded senior registry will be even more popular. In 2018, I'm asking Councilwoman Faustini and the entire Recreation Commission to keep the momentum going. The plan is to have more upgrades at the PAL, Willow Park, the Southside Dog Park, and additional accessibility equipment installed throughout 2018. The safety and well-being of our residents remains a top priority. And so today, I'm directing Councilman Wolak and the Public Safety Committee to begin working on the feasibility of a Southside public safety building that will enhance our ability to provide top-notch public safety service to our residents. Additionally, we will continue to invest in training and equipment for our public safety employees and volunteers. Working with private partners, the Borough in 2017 authorized the filing of a grant for the design of the Hollywood Avenue project. In 2018, we are hopeful to obtain both state and federal funding for the design work and ultimately enhance our ability to seek state and federal funding of this multi-million-dollar initiative. I am proud of our accomplishments and remain excited about our future. South Plainfield continues to be a model for how government can work effectively and efficiently. We are a desired destination for individuals, families, and businesses alike. A recent social media note that I received from a resident in December tells me we are still that special place that I have always called home. It reads simply, "Hello, Mayor Nesh. I purchased a home in South Plainfield last year after living in Edison for over 20 years. South Plainfield is such a beautiful town. Keep up the good work. Best regards, Valerie Haynes." Well, Valerie, thank you for your encouraging words, and I agree. South Plainfield is a beautiful town, made beautiful by our wonderful residents like you, our talented employees, our dedicated volunteers, our emergency service and response officials. So, in conclusion, best wishes to everyone for a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2018. At this moment, before we go on to some of the other business today, I'd like to ask, or offer Assembly Minority Leader Bromnick, do you want to say anything to the residents gathered today?
Happy New Year, everyone. Governor DeFrancisco, today I heard a lot about bipartisanship. I think you were one of the leaders with respect to bipartisanship, respect, and civility, and my hat's off to your leadership in the state, and I'm proud to be with you today. Mayor, congratulations on your success. President Benjavega, thank you for inviting me. Just a brief story. I'm actually from Plainfield, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm 64. 50 years ago, I came in this building with a lawyer named Ray Milton. I came to see him do a presentation before the planning board. And it was that time, at 14 years of age, that I decided to go to law school. And people would ask me, you know, why did you go to law school? And it was that moment in this building. So it all came back to me today. I live right down off Plainfield Avenue. And I knew when I came across the border not to go too fast. Because in Plainfield, the police were busy doing other things, but here they actually had speed traps. So I was real slow. I do want to mention, as the minority leader in the state legislature, Tuesday I'm going to be sworn in as the minority leader. And I'm going to give you just a little bit about what I'm going to say, because it's important. What I have seen in the last few years in this country is some bitterness, some divisiveness, and some hateful speech that I think threatens our institution. I am going to commit for the next 2 years to travel through this state to find the reasonable people. Because most of us are reasonable. Most of us respect the institution. And most of us speak to each other in a civil way. But I'm going to fight against those people who on social media, when you say something that's a policy position and they react with hate, then I'm going to ask them to get some psychological help to figure out whatever happened in their childhood that made them so mad. Because this kind of evil, in my judgment, should not penetrate this society where the reasonable people, and that's most of us, want to get along with each other. So on behalf of all of the members of the state legislature and the governor, let's move on together, and let's do so in a respectful way. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Okay, Resolution 18-03, mayoral appointments. I am going to call a bunch of names. Those who are here, I would ask that as your name is called, you can join us up front for the administration for the oath of office. Environmental Commission Council Liaison John Dean, Councilman John Dean. Environmental Commission Member Deborah Leporino. Housing and Community Development Mayor's Rep Councilwoman Christine Faustini. Library Board Mayor's Rep Raymond Rusnick. Planning Board Class 2 Michael Pellegrino. Planning Board Class 4 John Macharski. Planning Board Class 4 Paul Grisenda. Class 4 as well Peter Smith. Planning Board Class 4 Richard Houghton. And Planning Board Alternate 2 Brian Biffle. And Planning Board Alternate 1 Stephanie Bartfalvi. Recreation Commission Police Athletic League Christopher Colucci. Recreation Commission Member Calvin Gross. Recreation Commission Council Liaison Christine Faustini. Recreation Commission Member Michael Alvarez. Office of Aging Advisory Board Council Liaison Councilwoman Christine Faustini. Middlesex County PCC Mayor's Rep Council President Robert Benjavanga Jr. Public Celebrations Council Liaison Councilwoman Christine Faustini. Those of you who are here, please join me. Council Liaison Planning Board would also be Councilman Derek White. Collectively hold your Bible, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Calvin Gross,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Sir? Okay, Resolution 18-04, council appointments. Again, same thing, I'm going to call a bunch of names here. As you hear your name, feel free to join up for the administration of the oath of office. Affordable Housing Council Liaison, Councilman Derek White. Business Advisory Group Council Liaison, Councilman Derek White. Business Advisory Group Member April Benjavanga. Business Advisory Group Member Fred Butler. Business Advisory Group Member Mr. Scadia. Business Advisory Group Zoning Officer Mary Frances Hildebrand. Borough Advisory Group Engineer Len Miller. Greenbrook Flood Control Alternate 2 Engineer Len Miller. Greenbrook Flood Control Member Alice Temple. Greenbrook Flood Control Class 3 Councilman John Dean. Greenbrook Flood Control Alternate 1 Councilman Gary Vess. Housing and Community Development Council Council President Robert Benjavanga Jr. Office of Aging Advisory Board Member Jerry Brown. Office of Aging Advisory Board Member Joanne O'Sullivan. Office on Aging Advisory Board Member Arthur Osenberg. Planning Board Class 3 Derek White. Shared Services Committee Council Liaison Robert Benjavanga Jr. Yes. At this point, can I get a motion for Resolution 18-04?
Make a motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Wolak, seconded by Council President Benjavanga. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Yes, Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Faustini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Assemblyman, would you like to swear the...
Sure.
I guess we have a joint Bible. I don't think technically, we don't actually have to put our hand on the Bible, so we'll just look at it. Oh, yeah, you can hold it, Councilman. Oh, that's good. All right, you get a little piece. All right, you can repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and the governments established
in the United States and in this state,
in the United States and this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
I got one. Not a good one, but I got one.
Emily, while you go back up there. Okay, resolution 18-05, these are mayoral appointments with the advice and consent of the council. Same thing, as I call your name, feel free to join up front for the oath of office fight.
Maybe Governor DeFrancesco
Yeah.
can swear some people.
Governor, you want to come? Come on,
Yeah,
Governor.
wait a minute. You got experience.
Okay. All right, Construction Board of Appeals, member construction, Michael Judas. Construction Board of Appeal, member plumbing, Michael Patrico. Construction Board of Appeals, alternate construction, George DeLuca. Construction Board of Appeals, member architect, Joseph Krowick. Cultural Arts Commission, members Debbie Boyle, Diane Pender, and Christine Edward Lee, and also Priscilla Benjavanga. Cultural Arts Commission, member Karen Casaligi. Health Advisory Board, Council Liaison, Councilman John Dean. Health Advisory Board, member Marie Delinsky. Health Advisory Board member Gail Curran. Health Housing and Community Development members Shiva Bechker, Reddy Cola, Roberto Sayers, Susan DeFrancisco, Lisa Abate. Also Library Board member Ann Troop. Senior Center, a rep for the Mayor's Wellness, Triolano. Mayor's rep, Senior Mayor's Wellness member Debbie Boyle. Property Board of Appeals member Jason Rizzoli. Public Celebrations member Amy Johnson. Jessica Spina, Stephanie Bartfaldi, Stephanie Wolak. Traffic Safety Advisory Committee, Police Rep Dave Dallaire, DPW Rep Len Miller. Council Liaison, Council President Robert Benjavanga Jr. Member Tim Morgan. Youth Advisory Council, Council Liaison for Recreation, Councilwoman Faustini. Youth Guidance Council, Council Liaison for Police, Joseph Polak. Police Member Lloyd McNally. Zoning Board of Adjustments, Alternate 1, April Wozniak. Alternate 2, Joseph Scordato. And Member Darlene Cullen. Thank you, somebody. Before we do that, actually, can I get a motion for Resolution 18-05?
So
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Council President Benjavanga. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Can we get a picture before you swear? Of course.
Councilman Dean,
They all grab it.
Councilwoman Faustini,
Councilwoman Faustini.
Councilwoman Faustini.
You ready?
Oh, yes. Councilman White,
yes.
Councilman Rowland,
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga.
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Are you going?
Okay, back there?
Stay
Okay.
right here.
All right. Thank you.
So what we'll do is, you're holding the Bible, but if you touch the person next to you, it'll be connected. No, you don't have to. If you would please repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 10, professional service contracts resolutions for one-year term. 1806, authorizing the appointment of Borough Prosecutor Thomas Lanza and Mauro Savo. Authorizing, 1807, authorizing the appointment of Public Defender Edward Santoro. 1808, authorizing the appointment of the Borough Auditor Suppley Clooney. 1809, authorizing the appointment of the Borough Appraiser Sterling DeSanto. Authorizing the 1810, authorizing the appointment of Condemnation Counsel D. Francisco Bateman. 1811, authorizing the appointment of Redevelopment Attorney D. Francisco Bateman. 1812, authorizing the appointment of Borough Bond Counsel McMenamin in Scotland. 1813, authorizing the appointment of Insurance Broker Counsel, Insurance Buyers Counsel. 1814, authorizing the appointment of the Borough Engineer T&M Associates and the Jarian Associates. 18-15, authorizing the appointment of the Environmental Engineer and the Jarian Associates. 1816, authorizing the appointment of the Borough Professional Planner T&M Associates. 1817, authorizing the appointment of Tax Appeal Attorney D. Francisco Bateman. 1818, authorizing the appointment of Labor Attorney D. Francisco Bateman. And 1819, authorizing the appointment of Conflict Tax Appeal Attorney Mauro Savo. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Wolock. Councilman White, seconded by Council President Benjavanga. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fostini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item number 11, resolutions. 1820, authorizing the appointment of Tax Search Officer Ken Clifford. 1821, authorizing the appointment of Public Safety Compliance Officer Amy Antonides. 1822, authorizing the rules of by orders and laws of the Borough of South Plainfield. 1823, authorizing the check signers for the Borough of South Plainfield Mayor, Clerk, and Chief Financial Officer. 1824, authorizing the 2018 official newspapers. 1825, authorizing the 2018 employee holidays for the Borough of South Plainfield. 1826, authorizing the fixed rates of interest on taxes and sewers in the Borough of South Plainfield. 1827, authorizing the 2018 agenda and public meeting schedule of the Borough Council. 1828, authorizing the 2018 cash management plan for the Borough of South Plainfield. 1829, authorizing the mayor and/or administrator and/or municipal clerk to be the official signer on all borough documents. 1830, authorizing the municipal clerk to administer all motor vehicle sales, amusement, landromat, junkyard, wreckers, limousines, and clothing bin permits for the year 2018, contingent that applicants have met all state and borough requirements and all fees have been paid. 1831, authorizing the practices and procedures of borough officials of Borough of South Plainfield in the county of Middlesex, State of New Jersey. 1832, authorizing the approval of block party grant request for 2018 calendar year, contingent upon the applicants having obtained approvals from the Borough Police, Fire, Rescue, and DPW departments. 1833, authorizing the approval to waive certain permit fees for 2018 calendar South Plainfield municipal or charitable organizations. 1834, authorizing the appointment of Doctors Express Urgent Care of South Plainfield as a borough physician for the 2018 calendar year. Brett. 1835, authorizing the municipal clerk to administer all games of chance liquor licenses for the 2018 contingent that applicants have met all state and borough requirements and all fees have been paid. 1836, authorizing the use of various cooperatives in the state of New Jersey for purchasing purposes. 1837, authorizing third-party payroll disbursements and appointing Glenn Cullen as payroll approval officer. 1838, authorizing custodians of petty cash and change funds for the 2018 year. 1839, authorizing a sole source provider contract pursuant to NJSA 40A11-51DD for proprietary software maintenance with Edmonds and Associates Incorporated for the 2018 year, not to exceed $22,194. 1840, authorizing the tax assessor to file and settle tax appeals at the county tax board for the 2018 year, and 1840A, authorizing the appointment of police off-duty administrative services. Can I get a motion?
So
Second.
Motion by Council President Benjavanga, seconded by Councilman White. Amy, can you call the roll?
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fostini?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Benjavanga?
yes.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. And before we open it up for public comments, I would invite everyone to join us at the Knights of Columbus for a light reception immediately following. I know it's cold outside, but it's warm in there. At this point, I'll open it up for public comments. Seeing none. Any council comments? Seeing none, at this point, can I get a motion for adjournment of this meeting?
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a happy night.